In order to work out surface area of shapes, there's a few very important skills that you need. Now, firstly, let's have a look at one of the basic shapes that you come across, and that's a rectangular prism, basically the shape of a box. It says when calculating the surface area of any solid, now a solid is just, other than something like a flat piece of paper, a solid is a box or a Toblerone, a packet, the triangular pyramids, anything like that. They're called solids. It says you need to be able to identify all faces along with their dimensions or their sizes. So that's the main skill that you're going to need. And you'll notice in this diagram that they've got different sides. You can count them, and you've got to do this pretty systematically. You've got a top, a bottom, you've got a front and a back, and you've got two sides. And if I asked you to work out the surface area of this shape, you'd basically have, you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides that you'd have to work out the area for and then add them all up. So let's see how you're expected to do this in an example. The main thing that says here in this particular shape here is that each corner or apex is given a letter. And you'll notice that it's not randomly allocated. If we start here with A, B is a cross, and we're going in a clockwise direction, C and D. And then after that, you have to start labelling things. You'll notice that E goes to the back. A, B, C, D. There's E and F and G and H. And once you've labelled all of the corners, you can actually see the sides are there as well. B, F and G and C, they're all there. So how do you actually describe those when writing them down? Well, it says here, find each pair of corresponding faces. These would be the faces that are the same. So in the first case, we've got the front is A, B, C and D. So we could say, therefore, for the front, if we put it down here, here's the given things. There's the given. We've got the front is equal to A, B, C and D. Then we'd have to say, therefore, the corresponding face, this is going to be very important, so watch this, the corresponding face, in this case, would be the back. Now, notice that it's equal to E, F, G and H, and that's because A matches up with E, B matches up with F, C matches with G, and D matches with H. So you've actually got to get them in the right order. If we had a look at the side, you can do this now quite easily. If the side is B, F, G and C, then the corresponding side, so there's B, would be A. So let's get the letter right with the corresponding side. And we've got F next, so it would be E as the next one. We've got G over here, so it would be H at the back. And then D, if you see the matching side, so C matches with D. And finally, if we look at the bottom of the box is D, H, G and C. And therefore the corresponding face would obviously be the top. And once again, if that's D, we'd have to have A as our corresponding corner. H is over here, so we would have E next. G is here, so up to F. And C is here, so we'd go up to B. And that's what we mean by corresponding faces, labelling them in a corresponding way. It's not hard to do once you know exactly how to do it. So let's look at one other exercise that we've got to do, or one other example. I'll just extend this up the page a little bit so we've got plenty of room. In this particular one, we're having a look at using the diagram to actually state the dimensions of each face. And the dimensions of a rectangle include one length and one width. because the opposite sides are equal. So we only need to have one length and one width. And in this case, we need to check off that we're actually selecting the right sides to put in as the length and the width. So our ABCD face would have our length here, and you can see it there. There's our length of 10 centimetres. So we'll write this in. And our width would be going up here, would be, there it is there, 4 centimetres. Now, at this stage, I would like you to go ahead and fill in the other dimensions, and I'm going to do it without saying too much at all, and we'll compare our results in a minute. So you go ahead and write them in, and you've got them in your book, so let's see how we go with these. And if you've done this correctly, you'll have these numbers listed for your length and your width, and you can probably see how easy it would be now to work out the total area or surface area of this shape, because all you need to know is, for a rectangle is multiply your length and your width together and then add them up. So we could actually do that. So if we go 10 times 4, and what I'll do is put here surface area. You might just want to plot that in your book. Surface area is length times breadth. So I'll just put here length times width. We'll use the word width rather than breadth because it's in the table here. And so without actually writing all the calculations, we could see that this would be 40 centimetres squared, and again 40 centimetres squared. 7 fours are 28 centimetres squared, and again 28 centimetres squared, 70 centimetres squared, and 70 centimetres squared. And then you can add these up to get the total. So we can put here sum to get total surface area, and you can go ahead and do that and work that out. So there you go. Very important to learn how to label all of the sides correctly, and then to be able to, from there, from the diagram, get the appropriate lengths to work out the different surface areas, or the total surface area, by adding up all the different surface areas of each side, front, top and bottom, and so on.